William Levis. Whew. Those are the two words for today. William Levis. I think it's safe to say that it's officially over for bro. Um Today was just not the day that we needed to have, or that he needed to have as the quote unquote future of the Tennessee Titans. Um It was probably some of the worst quarterback play I've ever seen in my life, to be honest with you. My wife's in the background laughing. It's getting to a point, man. It's every week at this point. My wife, she laughs at me for sitting down and watching the Tennessee Titans. It's really bad. And I'll be having my son sitting down watching, and he just be looking like, damn, is this what football is like? And I want to tell him like, nah, this is horrible, son. But I don't want him to to not be a Titans fan. So I really need something to shake and something to be good. Because right now I ain't got nothing good to show him. And at one point my wife was, babe, you were becoming a Titans fan, right? You would say, yep. We went to a game. What was this? 5 years ago? She had a great time. Yeah, back in 2019, she had a great time. She was whoo 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 after every first down. Tighten up, baby. Like it was fire. And now I don't think she'll ever go back to the Titans game at this point. Um, I mean, babe, there was we ain't had a good year in a minute. But anyway, um, we can get into today's game, man. We can get into today's game real quick. I'm not here for long because it's already late, and I haven't even ate dinner yet. One second. All right. Cincinnati Bengals 37, Tennessee Titans 27 today. And that score was not a good representation of how bad this game really was. It was tight early in the game to the point where I actually thought we had a chance to win, which was a shocker. Because going into the game, I predicted us losing like I think I predicted a 31-17 score. Um and at one point it was 14-14. We were leading 14-7 at one point. Uh Will Levis didn't look horrible to start the game off. Now, to be fair, we weren't throwing the ball very much to start the game off. Joe Burrow threw an early, like a super early interception, and then we had a short field. We ran the ball like 5 times in that drive, scored a touchdown. We're up 7. They come right back, score another touchdown, so it's 7-7. And I believe on the next drive we scored again, but it was like Will made a couple good throws, but it wasn't nothing like crazy. I think he had a big third down conversion, but other than that, it was still like a run heavy scheme. Which at one point in the game, I was thinking like, man, I don't know why Brian Callahan like that's been his approach lately with Will Levis is super run heavy schemes in the first half, and then he kind of opens it up in the second half. I feel like it should. I don't want to say it should be a reverse, but he should sprinkle a lot more passing in the first half. I feel like, and that was my thought mid game, but then 3 interceptions later, I quickly changed that thought. I completely understand why Brian Callahan doesn't open up the playbook for Will Levis because he may very well be the worst quarterback in the league. But anyway, like I was saying, it was 14-14 at one point. Thought we had a chance, and then the second quarter happened, and it was a landslide from the West for the rest of the way. Will Levis, I believe there were 5 drives at one point where it ended in an interception. It ended in I think it started with a fumble, a punt, and then 3 interceptions back to back to back. That's how bad Will Levis was today. If you're looking at the stats, he finished the day 8 for 12 for 89 yards and 3 picks, which means technically he completed 11 passes today, 11 to 12, but 3 of those passes were to the other team, unfortunately. And he got benched. That's something I did not foresee happening. Even with a bad Will Levis game, at this point of the season, I just feel like Brian Callahan is ready to just stick it out no matter what. Um, but no, he pulled the plug on bro, and I can't say that I was mad at him, like, um, because he's been playing really bad as of late, and he said it in his post game conference. Will Levis, he said, when you turn the ball over 4 times, you kind of expect to get pulled. Which, to be fair, I don't agree with. I think if you're a solidified starter, hell, we just saw it with what's his name, Jared Goff on the Detroit Lions like 3-4 weeks ago. He threw 4 picks. Was he getting pulled? Hell no. Hell no. When you're a solidified starter and you're the leader of the team, I'm not saying you can throw as many picks as you want, but you have a much longer leash to make those mistakes and still play in the game. But when you're Will Levis, you do not have that. So I'll be curious to see if he's starting next week. At this point, I can't foresee it happening. When you get benched like that, bro, at the end of the year, what is it, 3 games left? I don't see another reason to throw him back into the game unless Mason Rudolph gets injured. But even then, hell, call somebody else, bro. I am officially done with Will Levis, I think. I said it last week, I was never like fully convinced that this was the guy moving forward, but I was saying like, hell, he's done enough to at least be the starter for 2025. No, throw that away, bro. It's not, no, not anymore, bro. Which leaves us in a very like bad situation. Because look, so if Will Levis is not the guy for 2025, right? If you're looking at the draft board right now, I believe this is as of what, 10:08 p.m. We are at the 6th spot in the draft. Now there's 2 big names in the quarterback room of the NFL draft. You got, what are you looking at? Cam Ward, Shador Sanders. I don't foresee them dropping to 6. So I don't want to fully go into draft talk, but just looking at it right now, if draft were to be tomorrow, we're not getting a quarterback in the first round. Because I believe those are the only 2 projected quarterbacks that are even worth picking in the first round. Anybody else would be a reach, especially at number 6. But if you look at the top 6, the Giants need a quarterback. The Raiders need a quarterback. I think New England is solid. Jacksonville should be solid. I don't foresee them moving on from Trevor Lawrence. Carolina's a toss-up. Bryce Young has been playing a little better as of late. So I still can't. Yeah, I can't see them picking a quarterback in the first round. So that leaves us, who are, I would say, officially a QB needed team. Like, we don't have a quarterback of the future anymore. And that's what the season was about. To be fair, the season was all about figuring out whether or not Will Levis is the quarterback of the future, and he is not. So at this point, we either need Vegas or New York to win a game, maybe 2, and we probably officially need to lose out. And I hate saying that because I don't want us to like, tanking is just not something that I'm like fully in support of, like just purposely losing games. But man, we kind of need some help in that regard, because if we do win a couple more games, we got 3 left. If I'm looking at the schedule, who's left on our schedule? I know we have the Colts next week. We got the Jaguars, and then do we end with the Texans? Yes, we do. We're losing 2 of those games, bare minimum. I don't think we're beating the Colts next week, even though they are not very good either. We just lost to the Jaguars at home, so safe to say we may lose on the road as well. And then it really comes down to whether or not the Texans are playing starters, and that honestly doesn't even matter either, because we're pretty bad. So if I'm a betting man, I can easily see us losing all 3. I'm gonna go ahead and say we're gonna win 1, and that'll put us at what, 4-4 4-13 for the season. Again, which would mean Vegas or New York will have to win 2 more games. And if we're looking at their schedule, I just don't foresee them pulling out any victories. I mean, they got the Falcons next week. They got the Colts and they got the Eagles. They're again week 18 may come down to whether or not the Eagles are actually playing starters, but I feel like they may be because they're trying to get the number 1 spot in the NFC still. So that's not wrapped up. The Falcons are fighting for playoff position, I believe. So can't foresee them losing to the New York Giants next week, which gives a toss-up game against the Colts. Again, which I don't see the Giants winning any game for the rest of the year. So they're pretty. I feel like they're pretty solidified in the top 2 spot. And we can look at the Raiders. Maybe the Raiders play another bottom of the barrel team. Oh, they do. Okay, so next week they play the Jaguars. So in that case, we need and best case scenario, right? We lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars 2 weeks from now, and the Jaguars beat the Raiders next week. No, is that right? No, the Raiders beat the Jags next week, which gives them 3 wins, and then the Jags beat us the following week, which would leave us at 3 wins. See, this talk right now is pissing me off. I don't want to be thinking about us losing on purpose, but it's like it's not even on purpose. We're not good. The likelihood of us winning is very low. Now I'm just going down a draft rabbit hole. Let me get back to the game. All right. Looking at stats from the game, again, Will Levis played horrible. Joe Burrow, very solid for the most part. He had 2 interceptions today. That first one was kind of weird. I don't know what he was seeing. The second one, he was just taking a shot deep, and one of our players made a really good play on the ball. But overall, Joe Burrow was far and beyond the best quarterback on the field today. Not even close. Chase Brown was also very solid today. Jamar Chase, a dog. T. Higgins, a dog. Cincinnati Bengals may very well be the best 6-8 team I've ever seen. Offensively, shall I say. Defensively, they looked great today against Will Levis, but I know they've been struggling a lot for the most part of the season. But offensively, best 5-8 team coming in today, 6-8 team I've ever seen in my life. There's literally no reason, and you can blame the defense, but even then, they just had some really bad shakes this year. There's no reason they should only have 6 wins on the season and be like they have to win out in order to even get a shot at making the playoffs. On our end, Mason Rudolph came in. I guess you could say he looks solid. I don't enjoy watching Mason Rudolph play football because I know there's no point of Mason Rudolph playing football for the Tennessee Titans. Like, he's nice to have in a emergency situation, right? Like if our legit starter, I'm not even saying Will Levis' name anymore, like in the future, if we have a legit starter and he goes down and Mason comes in the game, we're like, okay, cool, we got Mason. But I don't want to see Mason Rudolph starting for the rest of the season because he's our best option. If Mason Rudolph is our best option, then we have a big problem at hands. But he played solid today, to be fair. Tony Pollard was dealing with an ankle injury. So he didn't have a great game today. 17 carries for 45 yards. He had a touchdown, which is cool. But again, that was on that early interception that Joe Burrow threw. Short field, we just ran the ball. It was good to see, but Tony definitely could have had a better game if he wasn't injured. Tajay Spears on the ground still didn't have a great day. He had that fire touchdown, and I got to see an image from that. I don't know if the image just came out yet, but that touchdown was very fire. But yeah, again, not another great day on the ground, but in the air, he had a lot of good passes, a lot of good catches. Scored a touchdown today. Chig was also pretty good in terms of receiving. Calvin Ridley, he was all right. Tyler Boyd was all right. Josh Wiley scored his first touchdown ever, I believe. Mason Kinsey got a catch. NWI was kind of non-existent, but again, our quarterback sucks, so that kind of happens. I would like to see Bryce Oliver get a few more touches today, but that didn't happen. Defensively, our linebacker core, they got me out there playing linebacker. Um, Super injured. I think Luke Gifford got injured again today. He had a concussion. James Williams got some tick, which was cool to see. I know he's a rookie. You said what, bet? Um, and what was I thinking? Who's our other rookie? Cedric Gray. Did he get any tick today? That's my question. Why is Cedric Gray not playing? If Luke Gifford is out, why is James Williams? I know James Williams has been playing a lot more on the special teams, but I feel like Cedric Gray should be getting a little bit more tick, a little bit more reps, I guess, at this point of the season. But maybe he's still not ready. I don't know. That's a little concerning there. Overall, the defense was, for what it's worth. I mean, again, they're playing against one of the better offenses in the league. Um, it wasn't a great day. It wasn't a horrible day. The main storyline of today, guys, is Will Levis. Like if I had three takeaways from the game, I think I wrote them down. Number one, Will Levis is officially not the answer. I think today was the day that like he's officially lost the fan base. I know going into the game, I would say it wasn't 50-50, but he definitely still has some supporters out there that was perfectly on board with Will Levis being the quarterback of next year. I wouldn't put myself in that category. I was more in the realist category of like, do I want him to be the quarterback next year? Not necessarily, but I understand he's probably our quote unquote best option because we weren't high enough. We're still not high enough in the draft and the free agency pool. I mean, I know we talk a lot about the Vikings quarterback, but like that's not even a guarantee. I know he's going to be a free agent next year, but I damn near don't foresee Minnesota letting him go. If he does, cool. Like I wouldn't be opposed to Sam Darnold, but I got to do some more research before I just say that's the answer is Sam Darnold. So yeah, going into the game, like I said, I feel like it was a little bit of a split. But now I can't foresee anybody like being on board with Will Levis being the quarterback of next year. So takeaway number one, lost the fan base. Will Levis is not the answer. As far as Coach Callahan, I am not fully off board with Coach yet. My stance is I would like to see him actually get a chance to pick his quarterback and pick his number one guy. He kind of got handed Will Levis, and I mean, of course, in the offseason, he said the right things, right? This guy's good. I think Will Levis has all the traits, which he does. From a physical standpoint, Will Levis has everything you need. He just can't put it together. So for Callahan, yeah, I would like to see him pick his guy, whether it be free agency, whether it be through the draft. I just know right now the draft, I got to see what the second round looks like in the draft, but I would much rather prefer us getting the first round quarterback. But we'll see how that goes. I just want him to have his decision and this be the guy, and then we base all of our feelings and like our I don't know, I guess anything we feel about Coach Callahan, I want it to be based off him having his guy, running his scheme with this guy. And then if it's not good, then we can complain and whatnot. But right now he was handed Will Levis and said, make this work. And was not able to. And takeaway number three, like I was saying earlier, I don't want to say we have to tank, but man, we really do not need to win another game this year. And I don't think we will just because we're playing better teams for the rest of the season. Jacksonville is, I don't know. I wouldn't say they're better, but we're both ass. So there's a toss up of who's going to win that game. But Indy's a better team and Houston's a better team. Even though we beat Houston earlier, that was a fluke. Houston's a better team. So I'm hoping that they're still playing for playoff position at the time. So I don't know. We should not win another game this year because we need the highest pick that we possibly can get. I would love to be in a position where we're picking, like, if we're going quarterback, we're picking the quarterback that we want, and they're not just like falling to us. Like, I want, if we're going Shador, I want us to say, all right, we can pick either Cam or Shador, and we can go for either or. Um, but in order for that to happen, we cannot win another game this year, and we need some things to fall in our hand. Because yeah, like I was saying, looking at the rankings, we need a lot of luck. Um, let's see. We can quickly do a ranking for today, and then we can do my favorite thing of the day, which is reading some Facebook Facebook group uh takes from today's game. That's usually a fun thing to do. Um, one second, let me pull up the tier maker today. This is tough. Who was today's MVP? Damn, that's never good when you can't think of an MVP for today. Who was? Was it Chig? Chig was hooping. I'm trying to think of anybody on the defensive end that was hooping. Um, Big Jeff had some good plays today. Devon J. Sweat looked like Derrick Henry with the stiff arm today, but I wouldn't call them MVPs. I might have to give it to Chig. Chig was probably the most consistent today. And again, that's shout out to Chig, but that's never a good thing. We can just go down the line from there. Bryce was meh. Calvin played solid. Brunskill. There were some plays that I just feel like he missed today from a blocking standpoint. I don't think he gave up any sacks or anything, so I'm gonna go ahead and say meh. JC Latham, he had a tough day today. He did he give, I don't think he gave up a sack, but he had like two false starts. He was just overall getting rookied all game for the most part. So I'm gonna throw him here. Josh Wiley scored today. You played solid, I guess, bro. It's crazy. I got to have a Mason Rudolph image here now. I don't think I do. Where is William? William, literally and metaphorically, you go sit down. Brian, meh. NWI, meh. Tony, I hate to put you there, but you were meh today. Tajay played good from a pass catching standpoint, but still not what I want to see on the ground. Shadobi, for what it's worth, bro, you were trying to guard Jamar Chase and T. Higgins today. You did solid. Tavondre, stiff arm was nasty. Harold Landry, I don't think I saw you today. Jarvis, you're always my dog. I'm go ahead and put you there. Tyler could have scored a touchdown today. I want to put you there, but you played good. Trying to see if anybody else just sticks out. Peter had a solid day today. I don't think he did anything horribly wrong. NPF actually didn't have a horrible game, I don't think either. Still, you're always somewhere down here, bro. I don't care what you do. You're probably gonna perpetually be down there. Like nobody else really worth mentioning on this list. So yeah, those are the grades for today for me. Nobody really played great. We had a few people playing good. A lot of people were just there. And William, you need to stay there probably for the rest of the season. All right, looking at some Facebook comments for today. I'm sure it's very, very nasty in here. Yeah, let's top 5 worst quarterbacks since we become the Titans. Mettenberger, Willis, Levis, Whitehurst, Locker. Damn. Is that really where we're at? First off, Malik Willis being number 2, that's disrespectful. Shout out to the what is it, Real Spill Sports Tennessee Talk. Um I found his channel maybe a couple weeks ago. He's hilarious. He hosts like live talk, call in with fans. So it's like every week. Him and probably like 3 other people are in his chat just talking about the Titans. And they often bring up Malik Willis, which I find to be hilarious. They think we made the biggest mistake letting Malik Willis go, which I don't agree with, but I also don't agree with him being the second worst quarterback we've ever had. Yeah. That list is horrible. Um, let's see, what is this? A Twitter screenshot. I don't say this lightly. I'm out on Rand Carthon and this whole Titans regime. Damn, I know it's gonna be nasty today. It's a truly awful football that they're putting on the field right now, and it appears to be getting worse, not better. Nothing we've seen this year or last year for Carthon suggests competence. That's just not fair, bro. Because going into the year, we were very excited about the draft picks that he's had over the last couple of seasons. And even this year, he damn near kind of hit on a couple picks. I mean, JC, for what it's worth, he had a solid start to the year. He's been kind of shaky as of late. But if you still would give JC a grade for the season, you would give him probably a B minus. And for a rookie left tackle who's played right tackle for the last 3-4 years, you damn near got to live with that. Tavondre, again, to start the year off, we were super high on Tavondre. So that was another good pick, we would say, from Rand Carthon. Jarvis Brownlee, we were all super high on. So that's 3 picks from this year that we all, I would say, agree that we like moving forward. Cedric Gray hasn't been able to touch the field very much. Jaquan Jackson, we know he fumbled every time he touched the ball. So there's some misses in there as well. But for the most part, another solid draft from Rand Carthon last year. At this point, we can officially say Will Levis was a miss. Who did we pick in the first round last year? Damn, who was our number 1 pick last year? Was it Skronsky? Yeah, it was Skronsky. He's been solid. Damn, who? Let's see. Now I feel paper. 2023 draft class. Before we just completely say, yeah, Peter was number 1. Before we just completely say Rand Carthon has been horrible. I can't say that. He's brought talent in for the most part. Yeah, there we go. Tajay, we all like Tajay. Josh Wiley, mid. Jalen Duncan, mid. Colton hasn't played. I'm starting to say this draft class might be ass too. Now that I think about it, damn. Okay. Skaransi and Tajay. Will Levis may not be here next year. He may or may not. I know he's not. He's not the future anymore. So we can call that a miss. Josh Wiley, we can't just call him miss, but he's not anything great. Jalen Duncan, 6th rounder. Colton, 7th rounder. What do you really expect from that? If I had to give both of those years a grade, I would give 2023 a C plus, C minus at this point. 2024, I'm leaning more so towards a B minus. Yeah, I'm still not saying Rand Carthon his regime needs to be ended abruptly. Like, nah, I'm not there yet. Best players at DTU doesn't get sacks, no QB, no right tackle, no star wide receiver, no starting tight end. Ooh, best pass rushers Landry doesn't get sacks. These are all facts for the most part. No star wide receiver. I'm not gonna just shit on Calvin Ridley. We don't have a right tackle. We don't have a quarterback though. And Chig, I like Chig, but I don't think he's a starting every down tight end. Put it that way. Second highest paid CB does not play. Legarius is pretty absent. That is a fact. Damn, we were just talking about Peter. 23 first round pick is mediocre guard. Yeah. Second round pick is Will Levis. Yeah. Third round pick is a scat pack who doesn't play. First round pick this year is a left tackle who is ranked 122 out of 135. I hope that's not true. Second round pick is a run stuffing DT who doesn't hit the QB. That I like Devondre, but that is a fact. Third round pick traded for Will Levis. Fourth round pick is a middle linebacker doesn't play. No third round pick in 2025 because you traded it for a cornerback who you paid $80 million to not play. Going to be a long decade. These groups in Facebook will just put you in the most depressive state as a Titans fan, man. Not a new meme for Will Levis. Damn. By Will Levis, I'm sure a lot of this by Will Levis, your time in Tennessee is done after this year. I don't know how true that is. I can't foresee us just. No one is trading for Will Levis, so that's not going to happen. I don't see us releasing Will Levis. Worst case scenario is Brian Callahan still rolls the dice and says he's our quarterback of next year. I can't foresee that happening though. But I also don't foresee him not being on the team next year. Will he start another game? Who's to say? Yeah, I could be wrong, but I think Levis' time in Nashville just ended. Again, his time hasn't ended, but his time as a starter may have very well ended. Titans absolutely should fire their loser first year head coach, Brian Callahan. These are dark times, man. We are like slowly trending back to the 2014 Tennessee Titans with Zach Mettenberger and Ken Wisenhunt and oh man, Bishop Shanky as our number one running back, and it was nasty, nasty times, man. I ain't gonna lie. At that point, I kind of like I didn't fade away from Titans. I just wasn't watching football as much as I am now. So I was still a Titans fan. They were still my favorite team, but we were so bad that I wasn't thirsty to watch the Titans every week. So I remember those years, but those years are not something that I talk about very often because I wasn't super involved. I just knew we sucked, and it's like we're trending back to that. All right, a couple more, and I'm getting out of here. Whew. Yeah, this is it right here. Last 5 possessions: fumble, interception, punt, pick 6. Yeah, that's the thumbnail for this week. Tennessee Titans. Yeah. You know what I was thinking about earlier before I got out of here? Do you remember um during the off season, there was a lot of like conversation that Brian Callahan was having with the media. And he mentioned this like a bunch of times. I remember this was like a weekly occurrence at this point. He was saying things like, the offense didn't have a great day today. We didn't really move the ball very well. The defense looked great today. Like all this talk about like praising the defense and basically just saying like our offense was, we didn't play well because we were playing against a great defense. And while at the start of the year that might have been true in terms of our defense being good, I'm starting to think like that was just a sign that our offense was trash and Will Levis is trash as well. And I don't think anybody really like paid attention to that. Like I looked at it, I was like, that might not be good. That might not be a good sign. Maybe our defense is great, but I would still like to see eventually like our offense having some good days. And I don't remember too many times where Callahan came to the media was like, our offense killed it today. Like it was, yeah. That should have been a sign to all of us as fans. Like, you know what, we may be in for a long season, but we were still optimistic. But man, this is by far the worst season we've had in a very, very long time. Y'all still want to blame the coach, right? This guy's a walking dumpster. After today, this trash will no longer be under center. Can't say it any better myself. Big Styles AI. Man, I guess with that being said, I'm gonna get out of here. Super late. Another tough week for the gang. But we will see what happens next week, man. I'm gonna holla at y'all.